while I'm alive. That's it. All right. So we're live right now. This is E4CFX, and I know you're in the right place at the right time. Quick one. So what am I saying? I want to share you guys a story, and I think that is one thing that kept me moving. So there was a particular time while I was in secondary school, I wasn't fully concentrated in studies. I was just the kind of person that wants to play. I play too much. But there was something that happened. I was in GSS 3, junior secondary school. So I was going to write my WAEC, my junior WAEC. So I think after writing my junior WAEC, I failed it. So that was the first time I could experience what failure looks like. I didn't pass. And because I didn't pass, I could not move to the next class. I was not happy because I saw my mates them moving to the next class. And that actually want to make me cry. I did. So I told my daddy that we could actually, collect bribes so that I can get to the next class. But my daddy said no, that I must rewrite the class. I said no. He said I must. So that was the turning point. Sometimes in life, we all need to understand that uh, we have a lot of things to achieve in life, but we need to understand that we need to push ourselves by listening to other people who have seen ahead of us. There are some people that you might think that they are pushing you, or you're pushing yourself to the wrong thing is going to help you. No. Imagine I took bribe that period. I wouldn't have changed my life. So you get what I'm saying? After that thing is distracting me. That voice is distracting me. So that is actually what changed my life. So my daddy could see what is coming in the future. And it's not everything I'm going to bribe my way out. So he had to what? He had to let me pass through that process of what? Going back, failing. So sometimes accept the failure and then find a way out of it. So that was the first time in my life that I wanted to sit down, I wanted to study. And when I passed that junior WAEC, the second sitting, I was happy with myself because I wrote it. I wrote well. So when I got to my secondary school, that was when I met this guest speaker. I saw his lifestyle. I said, I like this kind of life. I want to emulate this kind of life. So that was how I started coming close. He started teaching me. I started learning from him. And that was where the whole stuff started from. In fact, through him, I could remember that I fully gave my life to Jesus. That was through him because I really liked the life he was living. He was living that kind of life that I saw my daddy living. So I just want to appreciate his presence here because he's still standing and he has gone to places. So let us welcome Mr. Prosper. Welcome, sir. Kindly coming to the stage, sir.
All right. Good evening, house.
Mm.
Please, I'd like you to indicate if you can hear me. Can you all hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Good evening, sir.
All right. Good evening, house. And to E4C, an amazing figure who has organized this psychological class. I'm honored to be here. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Thanks for the opportunity to come and share 1 or 2 with as many who are traders and who we need this class tonight for their trading journey. So once again, thank you, E4C, and I welcome every one of you that is listening to this psychological class tonight. I want to speak on a topic that I call this destructive impulse in trading. Destructive impulse in trading. One of the reasons why I chose this topic is because there are a lot of traders out there who probably should have been the best of what they are today, and they are very good at technical analysis. In fact, as a matter of fact, you might have had other tutors maybe make some comments or some paraphrasing I'm going to make now. Trading is not difficult. What makes trading difficult is the psychology behind it. And this is the only business where you need to beat your psychology, you need to tame your emotions to succeed. There's no other business that requires this. And that's why it looks like it's very difficult to succeed in trading. Other businesses, you don't need to work on your psychology and continue to discipline your emotions. So why trading becomes very difficult is because human beings at their average level are indisciplined. And in order for you to succeed in trading, you have to be disciplined, and not just discipline at what you do or what you say, but discipline even in your emotions, discipline in your psychology. So when we talk about psychology, we are talking about your emotions in general, talking about your fear, your greed, you being happy, you being over happy, you being sad, you being over sad. Now, where does impulse come in trading? Impulse is that emotion that you feel in you that gives you that courage to take risk. So that courage you have to press the button, irrespective of whether you will lose your money in the market, or you're not going to lose your money in that market. That is what I call impulse. It is that energy that flows through you that gives you the courage to press the button. It's that energy that flows through you that gives you the confidence to press that buy or sell button. And with the intention of whether you lose the money or not, you don't care, because you are now a risk taker. But there is a silver lining in this impulse. As a matter of fact, anyone who has not been able to work on his or her impulse, such person is going to self-destruct, because that's your impulse of pressing the buy or sell button can actually ruin you without you knowing. Like, it's after you've been ruined that you will now observe and notice that the impulse you have in trading has actually ruined you. So a lot of traders who experience this due to some factors. So you've entered the market, or you've opened your charts, and then you are feeling this rush of energy to buy or to sell. You can't just wait for the market to come to your entry. Sometimes you can't just wait for the market to get to your TP. You close a profitable trade on the that is not yet there, and then a trade that has not come to your entry, you buy immediately. And sometimes when the market takes you out, you still try to go into the market to see how to capitalize the day and recover your loss. That is what impulse in trading can do, and it can be very, very destructive. You need to operate with a calm, peaceful, and positive impulse. And that's the kind of impulse that is not being controlled by pressure and emotions. There's something I do tell my students, and that is grow at your pace. You need to learn to grow at your pace and be content and be contented with whatever you make at your level. You know, when you go online and you go on X, you will see people who have a lot of screenshot of how much they made. Someone has just made $5,000. Someone has just made $1,000. Someone has just made 20,000, 30,000, even as high as $100,000. And no, sometimes those individuals might place my first $100,000 at 25. That's my first $100,000 at 23 years, at 24 years, at 25 years. And then you are looking at your life and wondering, how old am I? And then you feel like you're not doing more. You feel like you're behind. You feel like you're wasting away. You feel like you are underperforming because the results of these traders you've seen began to intimidate you and began to put pressure on you. Now, not because these traders who post these results want to put pressure on you. That was not their intention. So many of them are just advertising their results as a means to encourage as many who wants to give up in trading, to let them know that if they give up, if they have given up, they will not have gotten to that level. Meanwhile, there are some also who can be scammers, whom their screenshots or their results are not true. But because you are ignorant of this, you allow their results to intimidate you, to put pressure on you, and then make you feel that you're not doing enough. Make you feel that you being patient on your trade is a waste of time. And then you see that trader begin to go into the market with a negative impulse. Now, when this occurs, you are going to see that such trader will lose his or her money at a very fast pace. I am an advocate of slow and steady wins the race. It is better to be slow and sure and to be fast and risky. You are already in a risky environment, which is trading. You don't need to make your risky environment more risky. All you need to do is to grow at your pace and enjoy the level where you are and grow gradually into another level. Rome is not built in a day, was not built in a day. And if you try to skip the process, you will always pay the price. One thing you should know about the market is that you cannot cheat the market. You cannot break the process in the market. The market is built in such a way that anyone who comes into this market must pay the price, must go through the process. So let's say, for instance, you are imagining to hit that big money, and then you use $1,000 to bag $100,000. As long as you have not learned how to manage $10,000, you have not learned how to manage $20,000, $50,000, $3,000. Your level is just around $1,000, and then all of a sudden you did a trade and you were lucky in the market. You stacked your trade. If you're listening to me, if you're not thoroughly experienced and probably a beginner or someone who livelihood can be threatened by the kind of risks you take in the forex market, I would advise you not to go into stacking. Stacking is where you open multiple positions and then you want to hit it big. And then when the market goes a little bit against you, it results to big loss. So then you use the $1,000 to stack the market, stack your position, and then you hit $100,000. You might think that you have become wealthy. You might think that you have bagged that home run money. But what you don't know is that you've set yourself up for a greater failure. And let's say you withdraw some money to take care of your bills, to make your life comfortable, and then you remain, let's say, $20 or $10,000 there. Now, because you built a wrong habit, impulsive, destructive impulse in trading helps to build a bad habit. It facilitates a bad habit. So you think you are doing well, but you don't know you are building a bad habit. And what's that bad habit? The bad habit of wrong impulse, false impulse, destructive impulse in the market. So since you use $1,000 and then you start your position to make $100,000, you will be thinking that if I start position on this $10,000, I can be able to hit a $200,000. And boom, the market goes against you. And then you try to recover, the market goes against you. And before you know it, you've lost the remaining $20,000 out of the $100,000 you won. Now you will see yourself selling your property to fund your account. And before you know it, the person is back to square one. This thing I've said now, you might not fully understand what I mean. But I don't wish that anyone go through such experience, because it can be very, very painful. So what do you do instead? You grow at your pace. With a $1,000, you make $200, $100, $300 for a month. It is okay. Let's say $100,000 is the barest minimum. Okay, so let's say with $1,000, you're able to make $200 and above. That is okay. As long as you're able to make the money that can take care of your basic needs, that can take care of your rent, that can take care of your car, that can take care of your bills, and you're comfortable, just continue to maintain that pace and that consistency, and pack your money in the market gradually. Any attempts to outrun the market and to make the huge money will always result to biting your finger and burning your fingers. So do not allow what you see online put unnecessary pressure on you, and then your account begins to suffer that pressure. And then you see negative impulse as stacking of multiple positions, negative impulse as not waiting for your entry to come to you, not waiting for the market to come to you, negative impulse as buying at resistance, selling at support, negative impulse as over trading, negative impulse as revenge trading. You've made some losses and then you can't just allow the day go by. You want to recover that loss. I'm telling you, you have a wrong emotion and you're definitely going to lose all your capital. Over trading, such as you've traded and you've made profits, why not you take that profit for the day? You want to go in again and make more profit. And before you know it, you've lost the profit you made that day and even your capital. All these negative impulses are very, very destructive. Before you press that buy or sell button, you need to think twice and cross-check all your confluences. Do they tally according to your strategy? Yes? Is someone asking a question?
No, go ahead, sir.
All right. Before you take that trade, you need to ensure that is that trade giving you all the confluence that you have in your strategy? Is that trade giving you the reason why you should take it? Or are you taking that trade because you needed money urgently? Or you're trying to compete with someone? I've seen students that try to compete with their mentor. right? I own an academy and I teach students, and all of a sudden, the student wants to start competing with his or her mentor, wants to start competing with the money or the screenshot the mentor is showing. No, you don't do that. You grow at your pace. Slow and steady wins the race. If you start competing with someone in the group or trying to make some certain amount of money that you have not gotten to that level, listen to me, as long as you're a trader, you have your level. Every one of us here have their levels. If your level is $10, don't be ashamed of it. If your level is $50, do not be ashamed of it. If your level is $100, $200, $1,000, don't be ashamed of it. Don't go in and start positions just to prove someone wrong or just to screenshot and post on their social media to let them know that you also are a good trader who is making the money. Instead, allow a calm and peaceful impulse in your trading. If you're not seeing any trade to take, don't take that trade. Don't force trades. All right. Do not force trades. So if a particular trade is not presenting your confluences, you have checked it, is the market is the structure is not tallying with your liquidity zone, and there's no other book or fair value gap where you can enter the trade, and but you feel that other people are posting screenshot, you have just been lying down since morning, probably you do full-time trading and you've not taken any trade since Monday. You see, by the time you enter that market, you are going to record loss because you took that trade out of impulse. Do you know the amazing thing is, let's assume that all the negative impulse trades you took happen to be that you never took them, and your winners, by the time you present your winners and you minus the negative impulse trade, let's assume you never took them, you will see that you end up very profitable. So what I'm trying to let you know is that it is okay to trade once in a week if that's what the market presents to you. It is okay to trade twice a week if that's what the market presents to you. It is okay to trade thrice a week if that's what the market presents to you. The market will not always present the market environment or condition the same time, the same thing all day and all month. Last month, July, was a very tough month where the market was ranging, and now we are seeing movement in the markets. And for someone like me, I stayed for a week plus, and only just one trade. And guess what? That one trade hit TP. I made profit, and that's it. So, can you imagine you are trading once in a week? You're able to hold yourself not to enter a wrong trade throughout the week, and you just traded once. If you're a scalper and you're seeing good scalp, take it with a minimal risk when the market is not favorable, because if your risk is not minimized, you can end up running into massive loss. So you need to watch your impulse as a trader and ensure that you are not trading out of the negative and destructive impulse. The reason why gamblers go back to the village, when I use the word village, I'm talking about lose all your money, because there is an impulse that gamblers do have. And what is that impulse? Let me just try once again. Let me go again. The gambler always believes that even if he has lost now, if he goes the second time, he might be lucky to win again, or to win, or to make the loss that he has made. The gambler always have this belief that even if he has had 4 or 5 losses in a day, if he go one more again, he can end up winning. You see, in trading, we do not believe in luck. Trading is not luck. Trading is skill. If luck gives you an amount in trading and you are not experienced, I am betting you that the market is going to take it back. So trading is not luck. It is how skillful and how disciplined you are as a trader that gives you that bag of money. So the impulse of a trader is, let me go one more again. And that is what a lot of traders do today. You are just a gambler in this market. You are not a trader. A trader do not trade like a gambler. And a trader does not have the impulse of a gambler. This thing that you do as a trader is a professional job. When you go to Wall Street, at New York Stock Exchange, or Chicago Stock Exchange, or Hong Kong Stock Exchange, you're going to see traders who gain job, who get employed by companies, institutions, hedge funds, and they are being paid massive bonuses for trading for them. So this is not, trading is not gambling. Yes, some people might have confused it to be gambling, but I tell you that trading is not gambling because you are dealing with an economical environment, an environment that involves the world economy that can actually be predictable and that can give you consistent wins. But you see, when we're talking about gambling, you're talking about luck. You have your win by luck. And so that's the reason why gambling has never produced successful people the way trading has produced over the years. And the reason is because trading is not gambling. Trading is based on how skillful and how disciplined you are. After you have gotten that skill of technical analysis, the next thing to do is to discipline your psychology, discipline your impulse, discipline your emotion. So that impulse that makes you do the wrong thing at the right time is what you need to tame. Don't be quick at pressing the buy button. Don't be quick at pressing the sell button. Calculate every of it. Check your trade over and over again before you take it because you are losing money. You are not just, forget that for some of us who are Nigerians here, you see $10 and you're just seeing 2 digits. No, in your Naira, in your local currency, it's not just 2 digits. You're actually losing someone's salary in a month in a single trade because you are having a negative impulse. So checkmate your trade, cross-check it over and over and over and over again to ensure that you are doing what is in your plan. That plan that you have, make sure you follow it. Do not leave your trade to trade someone else. So you have planned your trade and you have analyzed your trade, but coming online, you saw that this mentor is selling, but you had a trader is buying, or you saw that that particular trader wants to buy, meanwhile you're selling, and then you lose confidence in yourself and decide to sell. Instead of you to buy the original buy you wanted to buy that original buy. If you lose it, you will learn something from it. But your impulse is so fickle, that you can change your bias within a minute. You are buying now and you are selling in the next minute, and then you are buying the next minute, and then you are selling the next minute, and then you are buying the next minute, and then you are selling the next minute. What are you doing? You are gambling. You are gambling. If you know what you're doing, when you buy, you buy. Except the market changes. But do you know that some of you destroy your accounts with a market that just remain in a tight range? The market is just even in a very tight range. But because you are so inquisitive to make money, you want to, probably you need the money to settle some bills, and that negative impulse takes over you, and then you buy, you close it, it goes against you, you close it, you sell, it goes against you, you close it, you buy, it goes against you, you close it, and before you know it, you think you are closing $1, $2, it's no money. Before you know it, that $2, $3 you are closing has end up eating your accounts. So you have to watch out for these things. Hold yourself accountable. Pin yourself to the ground and ensure that that negative impulse does not take over you. You see, if perhaps you feel bored and then because of the boringness, you want to enter trades, try to get a book to read. If you can't read book, engage yourself in watching movies. If you don't have movie to watch, if you have some friends to hang out with, go and hang out with them. Place an alert on your screen, on your charts, so that when the market goes there, it's going to give you an alert. Just try and see how to distract yourself from the market until the market gives you that thing you're looking for. If the market does not give you what you're looking for, do not engage. You will thank yourself when you do not engage. So many of you have experienced it here. Remember those times you discipline yourself and you said, no, you're not going to take this trade until you see what you're looking for. And then others are taking trades and probably sending screenshot and you remain calm. And all of a sudden, boom, the market goes against the direction of those people that were trading. And because you are not in that market, you did not record any loss. If you have jumped into that market, you would have ended up in loss. So I'm speaking to every one of you here who are starting out, whether it's your first year, second year, third year, fifth year, or fourth year in trading. Avoid negative impulse. When you are too sad, avoid the chart. When you are too happy, avoid the chart. You have to maintain a neutral state. And then you just made $100 and then you are over happy. You are not yet a trader. Is it the $100 that the market can still take away from you? Why are you happy? You know, there's this slang that says, shop TP, bone face. When you hit the TP, keep bone your face. Bone your face because it's not yet over. You're still going to trade tomorrow. You're still going to trade the next tomorrow. And if you're not careful and you allow your emotions to be too over happy, you make mistake. The market will collect that one that you were rejoicing over yesterday. So when you hit TP, just bone your face. You remain neutral. The profit you make is doesn't mean anything. The loss you make, it doesn't mean anything. What will mean something to you is the consistency. That's what you should celebrate. The ability to be consistent with your discipline, the ability to avoid negative impulse, the ability to close your trade every week in profit or every month in profit is what you should celebrate, not just a single trade that hits profit. If you do that, then you are still in the level of a newbie. All right. So that is that for tonight. As I come to the closure of tonight's class, avoid anything that's going to place you under pressure. Do not try to use trading to solve your issues or family issues or bills. Please don't try it. If perhaps you're doing trading over full time and you don't have any other source of income, please try to look for other source of income, because one of the reasons for taking useless trade is boredom. You are bored and you need money, and then you feel like you are being wasted. You are lazy. No, trading is waiting 90%, 10% execution. You need to learn the art of waiting. And when you're waiting, what are you doing? You have to engage yourself in some hobbies or look for another source of income and make a life outside trading. Use trading as a side means of income until you are balanced properly, where you can take certain risks in the market and you're not scared that it's going to affect your level of livelihood. All right. That brings me to the end of my session, and I will just ask if you have any question for me before E4C takes over. I would like to hear your question. Thank you.
If you have any question, please ask.
Okay, E4C, I think there's no question. I believe, please, you can just drop an emoji or a response if you understand tonight's session and you're able to gain something. Can I see your comments so that I will know you all followed actually? All right, over to you, E4C. Thank you very much, guys, and have a wonderful night rest.
No, don't go yet.
Okay,
This is
okay.
this is actually a great information. See, someone said great information, thanks. Another person said, you have said it all, sir. Thank you so much. I am a victim of all you have said.
Oh, Rafu Akisaya. All right.
This is
You have to work on it.
yes, yes. So
Any other
I have
comments so far?
questions.
Okay, okay. Shoot.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank you for coming on stage to talk to us. Likewise, I will also say I'm a victim of most of the things you said. And right here, we are here to learn. And there was a time I sold my one of okay, yeah, even you told me not to say that this thing. That's my right. I sold it because I want to what? I want to fund my account, and I lose it that day. So that negative impulse that we were talking about, that is what has been driving us most of the time. How do we control that negative impulse when we need to solve a particular problem? How do we stay calm? So that's my question for you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Based on your question, you see, there is a problem I find out that traders in general have that I am currently working on a project to address. Traders have a money management problem. What do I mean? When you make money from the market, you are tempted to think that you are a printing machine. And so when you make a certain money, because like it or not, there are good days and bad days. There are days that everything is on point, your trade goes smooth, and you are making the money. Why bad there are days, we call it winning streak and losing streak. Now, losing streak will always come, but do you know that majority of us do not prepare for that day, do not anticipate that day, do not think, we do not, we begin to see ourselves invisible. We do not think that there is a time, there's an environment that the market can bring to us in a month, and probably our strategy will not align with that current market environment. And some of your trades will hit stop loss than TPs. At that point, that's where a lot of trader begins to have problem, because number one, when you see some profit, you withdrew it. You did not spend the money properly. That is where money management comes from. You need to learn how to spend your money you make from trading properly, in the sense that don't lavish it. Now, it's not really that you're living a lavish life, but you need to look at yourself as someone that, okay, if this is the money I make from working or a salary money, how am I going to spend it? Do you know that the way you will spend that money will be different from how you're spending money as a trader? Because you as a trader, you made $200 yesterday and you withdrew it to take care of some needs. And some of them you dash out, some of them you buy drinks for some people. And then you believe that when you go to the market the next day, the next week, you're going to make more money. Are you getting me? So there's always money to make in the market. Hence, the one that is in your hands is not being managed properly. That is where negative impulses to come from, and I will explain. Because when you have managed your money badly, you will not come to a point where you are in lack or you are in need and you needed to solve something urgently. Meanwhile, if you've learned how to manage your money properly, you are not going to come to a point where you are in a urgent need and urgent lack. So one of the ways to tackle negative impulse is to learn the art of saving. When you make the money you've made, if you want to spend anything out of the money you've made, try to save 10 to 20% out of that dollars. Just save it somewhere. That savings you're doing is for the rainy day. That's number one. Number two, how to curb negative impulse. Like I said before I ended this session, you have to find other hobbies. Currently, I'm taking a course on full stack web development, and I've gone far in it. All right. That you're a trader does not mean you can't acquire other skills to make money from. That you're a trader does not mean you can't learn other things online. You can learn other tech skills. You can learn other tech skills. You have to learn to distract yourself from the market and don't become a market zombie. There are a lot of us here that are market zombie. You know, you wake up, you are looking at the market, you are eating, you are looking at the market everywhere, you are looking at the market, you're a zombie. Like you literally do not have life outside that chart. It has taken over your soul, spirit, and body and over your life. So if you come to my study room, I have books, I read books. I've learned to keep my mind off from the market in such a way that I'm not always looking at the market. And when I want to enter a trade, in order for me not to be under pressure to close the trade when it's going against me, I use a limit loss that I'm comfortable with. And that does not mean that you remain at the low level. No. I have once scaled $30 to $300, $300 to $3,000. And I never stacked position. I never entered risky trades. Do you know that I took this money gradually with a very good risk management? You always know when to increase your risk. So you started trading with $100 and you maintain that same risk. Let's say you're risking $10 per trade. You maintain that same risk until you get to $300. And when you get to $300, you increase your risk to $20. That's how you keep increasing it and you grow the account. And while you've grown the account to a certain amount, you withdraw half of it and continue. It's literally easy if you learn to use a risk that is comfortable for you, not something that will keep you out of sleep. There was a trade that I entered last night on SAUSD, and most of the times when I enter trade, I don't wake up in the midnight to check it. Most of the times I wake up in the midnight, you should do something else. Probably I just look at how the trade is going and I go back to sleep. If it wants to hit stop loss, fine. I'm comfortable with the risk. If it wants to go in my way, I'm okay. Whichever way, I've settled that risk in my heart. That you're a trader does not mean you're a risk manager. So many traders think they are risk manager. No. What makes you a risk manager is the ability to enter a trade and not to close that trade before it hits your stop loss, and not to be checking that trade like a zombie, a market rat. You want to see what the market is doing. Like, can you move the candlestick? Can you enter your screen and bring the candle that is going against you? You can, as long as you enter that trade, you don't have any power of whatever that happens in that market. So why are you checking? What will happen will happen. If it's going to hit your stop loss, it's definitely going to hit your stop loss. Checking it all the, like, I don't understand. If you're checking it all the time, is it that you want to use your eyes to control it to go in your favor? Or you want to exit it when you see that it's getting closer to your stop loss? You know, when you do all this mistake, you exit a trade that is getting closer to your stop loss, and before you know it, it will reverse and end up going in your direction, which will end up bringing confusion for you in your trade. Why not allow it to hit stop loss? And when it hits stop loss, you learn from it. So the second thing is to find a hobby. Engage a hobby, learn new things. Don't let it be trading alone if you're a full-time trader. If you're not a full-time trader, of course, your work or your business should already occupy some of your time. If you're a full-time trader that you have all the time to yourself, get books, read books, take new challenge, take new courses, take new things to learn, engage yourself in other things. Let trading be something that you just check in what's going on. Okay, it's going well, it's not going well, let me leave it. You get back to what you're doing. By and by, you are building in other areas of your life while you're a trader. And that makes you a professional trader. That makes your impulse not to be a negative one. But when you're bored, your impulse become a negative one and it will go out of control. So these are the two things. Find a hobby, learn new skill if you're a full-time trader. And secondly, engage in proper money management. The little you withdraw, use it properly. Don't dash out. You're not done with it. Don't dash out money. Don't spend money frivolously. Don't be very frugal with the money you are spending. And before you spend, save 10 to 20% of that money you withdraw somewhere in an account that you are not going to access and save it in dollars. And anytime you are in a rainy season, you can always access that account and you will not have a situation whereby you are in urgent need and you are being stopped with making that urgent need from the market. All right. So I've answered your question, Mr. A4C.
Yeah, we appreciate you, sir. That's a very powerful one. And I would like people to also ask questions. I want to chip in something also. There is a mental shift that is happening. Everybody that is in this call, I believe you should be a very sensitive person right here, because I know something is happening. You should go and reflect. There is someone that made $80,000 with 3K dollars in just one signal, and the person didn't actually understand. He just used 10 lot size, and he was able to take it to 80,000, and he felt that was the way forex trading is. He withdrew $40,000, because you're talking about money management. Now he withdrew $40,000. After withdrawing the $40,000, he already priced the car he should go get. Those people say you can come tomorrow and make the payment, that the particular one that you want, we are shipping it. So the guy now said, oh, with this money, I have $80,000. I've withdrawn 40. So I wanted to make a deposit and pay my car. Why not I withdraw 10? He withdraw 10 again from his account and left 30. Now, to him, he is wise. So he wanted to try the same thing he tried, which is he waited for a signal and then they dropped the signal and then he stacked the same thing. And to his greatest surprise, he lost the $30,000 that he kept in the account. And he said, I lose this $30,000. Don't worry, I can, regain the money again. And then he puts the whole money. He feel like if you put bigger money, you make bigger. He has already priced the car. Now he now puts it's just like he put 20. But say, this 20 is not, when you are when the money is going down in the account, like you first put 20K dollars and the money is reducing, and you don't want it to go. So you now put 10, it's still reducing. You now carry the old remaining 20 and put
Can you imagine?
$1,000, and then everything disappeared. Then his eyes open. Then he was calling his mentor, and it was, what just happened to my account now? Like the mentor self did not agree, they not answer him again. So, what will you say about that money management?
It's very crazy because what he did was he entered into the gambling state of mind, and the method at which he used in winning that $80,000 was actually what made him think he can do that again. As I mentioned it already, it's only experienced trader who stumbles on such kind of luck that will be able to tell themselves that this thing is luck. I don't know if or see if you understand. You'll be able to tell yourself this thing is luck, and you withdraw that money. You are not going back in with massive lot size like you did. You will just maintain the way you trade before. But a newbie or someone who is not experienced that gets to stumble on that kind of luck, I tell you, the market we always, if the market do not collect the money back immediately, he's going to sell whatever he used that money to buy to fund in future. The market will still collect everything.
Okay,
Because
see,
the market,
another thing I want to say is now this one I'm going to throw it to everybody too, because we have great minds here also. So the thing there is now, what is how is it going to affect him? Because he has not recovered from it till today. Do you understand? So that kind
yeah,
of shock, that kind of experience, I still have a lot of stories. Oh. Is it the person that made trading and then bought properties? But I'm talking about he bought things he would use to fix his property, and later sold everything again, thinking that he will get the money. Now the thing there is, how did he shaping his life? Now you're talking about a negative impulse. This one now is the aftermath, something that results to the kind of human being he is right now. That after seeing that kind of money and losing that kind of money, he did not remain the same again. So my question here is, since nobody wants to ask question, my question here is, someone that's seen something like that, how do we properly heal that person from that, or get to recover that person to the normal state of life? Because till that time the person acts like, oh, I can do this, oh I can, and then he keep losing and keep getting frustrated and keep doing the wrong thing. How do we heal that person? How do we recover that person to the right state? So I'm throwing this question out there to anybody that feels they can answer, and maybe then we can now allow the guests speak. Everyone here, I want someone to speak. Okay, oh yeah, network. Our guest, you can say something. Everybody don't want to talk.
okay, to this, yeah, what the person needs to do, the first thing the person needs to do is to take a break from the markets, because his psychology has already been messed up with the wrong thing. So we need to give him a break from the market. He needs a break. Then after he has gone through a break of, let's say, a week, 2 weeks, depending on how damaging the psychology has been, or even a month, then he comes back with a proper mentorship, because such person still needs a proper mentorship. Such person still needs to be mentored. If you leave him on his own, he's still going to fall back into that gambling state. So he needs to find or submit himself under a mentor who can now guide him, a mentor that he can be accountable to. So now, what's the first question? The mentor will ask, how much can you fund your account with? And you spend money you have. Okay, I don't have spare money. What I have is $100. Fund it. Now, for each trade you will be taking, you'll be risking $10. Now, initially, the person is going to feel bad that this is not my level. What's $10? What do you mean by take a trade and it's $50? That's the purpose why that mentor is going to mentor his mental state to let him know that it is not about the the $50 you make, it's about the consistency. And I am very sure that when that person begins to experience consistency, when I mean consistency is at the end of the week, you are able to close the week in profit. Even if you close the week 100% of the capital, 50% or 200% of the capital, that is going to give him a rewiring of his psychology, how the market works. Are you getting me? But most of
Yes.
the time, people that fall into this kind of trap, I must be sincere with you, they find it difficult to come back. In fact, it always end up being their ruin,
They will now
except
say
they
Forex is a scam.
yes, exactly. It end up being their ruin, except they are lucky to meet a very good mentor who they can also submit themselves to and be accountable to. Except that, aside from that, if they run it on their own, it is going to ruin them totally. Yeah.
What I learned today is gambler's mentality. Because do you know the question here? Another question here is that most of people say Forex is gambling.
Yeah. People say golf forest is gambling because of the predictionability environment. So if we predict in the gambling market, we predict in forest market. Why would you say forest is different? I dare to say forest is different because in the forest market, there is a certain level of certainty that you don't find in the gambling market.
Hmm.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
There is what we call an A plus setup or a B plus setup. They are set up that when you see it, you have seen this kind of setup over times in the market. You can be able to bet 90% that the setup is going to play out. And it will end up playing out. So, but when it comes to gambling, let's say for instance, Bet Niger, football for instance. Yeah, it's possible you say, okay, this is a stronger team, this stronger team should win this or that. But you never can tell. The smaller team can always win the bigger team, and things can happen.
And their odd is
And
very small.
yes, exactly. Their odds are very, very small. Very, very small. One of the proof that this
Excuse
thing
me. Excuse me. Somebody used his school fees, 99,000 naira that year to bet Baka to win. You know, Baka was the strongest team. Then
yes,
99, and what is to win is 105,000. Then the go game caught. Hi, that guy wants to run mad.
you can imagine. You can imagine. So another proof that Forest is not gambling is this. Forest has produced successful people
Yes, over time.
over time. And these people are evident in the society. Gambling has not done that. In fact, gambling has rather produced impoverished people, people that have been destroyed because of the addiction.
Many.
Secondly, is that Forex enables you to become a disciplined person because eventually, if you are going to make money in Forex, it's going to work on your wholesome person. It's going to, do you know, because of Forex, some people stop smoking, some people stop drinking, not because they got to church and somebody preached to them, but because they stayed in an environment that discipline is what helps you make the right decision. Discipline is what helps you make money. They now start applying that same discipline in every other area of their life. So Forex shaping the life of the trader beyond the money. It gives you that responsible life. It gives you that controlled life. It gives you that disciplined lifestyle. You can't find that with gamblers. Most gamblers living a very loose life because
Very
they
dirty
don't
life.
actually they don't actually need those skills to help them win their odds or whatever in their bet Niger. They don't actually need this. They don't actually need to be disciplined. They don't actually need to control their emotions. They don't actually need to control their psychology and all these things. But Forex does. So at the end of the day, it produces a total different person because you became a Forex trader. You now know how to be very disciplined in your endeavors. So it's not gambling at all. It's not gambling. It's a different game entirely.
There is this World Cup. I went to book 5 minutes draw, and I put it a very serious money. The games were entering, and do you know that since it is being controlled by the people that owns the platform, they were not even
Yeah.
giving me any reasonable cash out. I played about 30 games. About 15 has gone. No good cash out. Give me back my money and some profit. No, they no agree. Before you know, just one stupid country like that, I've forgotten the name, went to score during 2 minutes. I said, hey, this game has scored. I rebet it again. Same thing still happened. I said, no. So what I observe is that some people bring the same habit in gambling, bet, whatever, to trading.
Trading.
And
Yeah.
that is why they stay for 10 years. They have not made any progress.
Exactly.
Just go up
Exactly.
and down.
Exactly. Because you can actually trade this market for 10 years and you're not yet profitable. Until you submit yourself to the school of the market, which is discipline. I've never seen any successful trader who is not disciplined. I've never. All successful traders I've seen have one thing in common. Those
Yes,
guys are
discipline.
disciplined. They are rock discipline. They are, when I say rock discipline, they are like robots who, if they don't want to do something, they are not doing it.
They are not doing it.
Nothing moves them to do it because that's
Exactly.
what they are reading has formed in them over time.
There is an example of someone that wants to force me to trade. And then he said I must make the profit for him because he had a problem. What do we do to those kind of people? We tell them to go, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
they will end up transferring their pressure on you.
Yeah, we end up putting the pressure on the trader, and then they might, tarnish the image of that trader, isn't it?
Yes, of course. And you don't accept such clients. It
Don't
doesn't
accept such
usually
client.
end well. Yeah.
Wow. If you know you learned something from this call, type in the word 111. Everybody, type in the word 111. The letter 1, the alphabet having the numerical number 111. You won't get this kind of class anywhere. This is premium. I will allow 1 or 2 persons to ask questions, then we can now go. This question is so interesting that we normally close by 9, but this call here, most of the things he thought, everybody could confirm that I actually said almost everything, but he's throwing his light in another different angle, and then we are all learning too. I'm also learning too. If you don't have any question, what do you say to our guests? Type in thank you, sir, everybody. Type in thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. You have a question. Go ahead.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Basically, I have this issue in the market. I always have this whenever maybe let's say for example, I take a trade and I'm in profit, and maybe the next day I'm trying to trade again and I actually lost maybe what I actually made yesterday. I'm always having this, like, it's not always easy for me not to revenge trade. Like, I always want to make bad profit. I just look, and in turns, I always lost my account most of the time. Like, what can I do to combat this issue of this revenge trading? Like, it's like it has become an habit that whereby maybe when I make any loss, I always want to try and make it back. Let me try and make it back. And before you know it, I've lost that account. I think that's what I've been battling with my 5 years of trading right now, with revenge trading over and over again.
Okay. Now, in order for you to stop something, you need to think of how bad that thing has hurt you. And when you think about it, how bad it has hurt you, how much has revenge trading taken away from you, you become angry towards it. You alone, you alone are the one who is going to stop that. Like, I'm not going to appear where you are to stop that for you. Revenge trading is all about self-discipline and control, ensuring that your negative impulse do not take over you. So now, for instance, you enter a trade and you've made $50. Look at what many revenge trading people do, many traders do. They will now enter a trade and risk that $50 that they made as profit in just one single trade. So if you lose all the profit that you made in a trade in just one single trade, then there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with your risk management. So in trading, there's what they call risk to reward. So you were able to risk $10 to make $50, which is 1:5 risk to reward. And then you see another trade you want to take, which is, let's say, 1:4 risk to reward. And then you're risking the whole $50 because you think of making $200 when it goes to your TP. You are looking at the $200 profit. You're not looking at the $50 loss. Now, because you do not, you are being greedy. You enter that trade, you end up losing the $50 you made yesterday. And when you do so, you will be angry with yourself because you actually made profit this week, but you've lost everything. So you want to go back in and make more profit. In a nutshell, to control revenge trading, number one, you have to discipline yourself. And number two, you have to maintain consistent risk management. I said it when I was speaking. Maintain consistent. If it is $10 you're risking, when you make $50, what you should be risking still should be $10. Now, if you are very good in your technical analysis, before you be able to risk lose that $50 you've made, it means that you need to lose 5 trades. And for someone who his technical analysis is good or even average, at least even if you lose 3, you should get 2. Even if you lose 4, you get 1. That one will cover for all the losses and still keep you on massive profit. So work on your risk management. And whenever you make any loss, log out from your trading app and just go and make yourself busy. Lastly, you revenge trade because you are bored. You don't have anything doing. If you have things to do, when you hit stop loss, go and get yourself busy. If you don't have anything to do, engage yourself, like I said. Try to learn some other skills, test skills, build your enability skill, and leave the market. Wait for the next day. You will see that you approach the market with a clearer head, and you will make the loss, you will make the profits you're looking for. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, sir. Yes, yeah, there's something I also want to say. You know, there's this thing that when everybody tie up their all their whole life in that money, not the, not the trading, just the money. So you anything that happens to that money is like your life is somehow your life become shapeless because that money is all you have. And another thing is what the
what you're saying, they should go look for another thing to do and all of that. That mind at that particular time will not be organized well. So how are we going to address or tell people who are actually tie up their life into that money that they want to trade, and how do they actually manage it? So after that one too, there's another question. You're talking about pressure. So let's see how we can tackle this one out. I'm helping other people that doesn't want to say anything.
Okay, to this that you asked, yes, what you said is very, very true because someone who just hit stop loss will not have the mind to go and pick a book to read or have the mind to, because at that moment you are having negative emotions, you're not happy, you're feeling bad with yourself, you are wondering what went wrong, you're angry. So those negative emotions will not actually help you concentrate on any of these things that I've said. That's true. It's only for someone who, okay, let's say for instance, someone like me now who has come to a level where I don't attach emotion to my loss. I don't attach emotion to my profits. So when I make profits, I'm not sad, I'm not happy. When I make loss, I'm not sad, I'm not happy. I just try to maintain the neutral state of mind because that's what you actually need to be very successful in trading. So you need to learn to detach your emotion from what you make in the market. When you make profits, don't if you are seeing yourself being happy, tell yourself to control it. Speak to yourself that what's this? Is it this money that I will lose if I'm not careful? You know, that's the same thing. When I make loss, I'm like, what's it? Let me go to bed. I'll make it tomorrow. You know? So if you cannot engage yourself in any of these productive activities, you can do something like watching a movie. Watching a movie actually can ease you. Yeah. You can do something like going out. Just go out. Step out. If you have some change, go and buy yourself ice cream. Drink it and let your head cool first. You know? If you have some friends, hang out with them. If you are the type that plays ball, get to the field, engage yourself just to ease up the negative tension. All right. So there is always a hobby that you can do to just ease out the tension in you. You can just probably you hang out with friends and talk, and you laugh. Before you know it, you have gone over the negative emotion. So I think that's how to deal with this. If you have not come to the level whereby, for someone like me, I can hit stop loss, and the next thing I've picked a book that I'm reading and I'm reading it, or a class I'm having and I'll have it. I don't feel anything because whatever I lose today, I can make it tomorrow. So it's a level where you need to come to where your emotions are not attached to the truth. Then for someone that's the particular money on that trade is all in has or all it's got. Actually, you need to you need to know that trading does not work that way. Why do I say so? Because it's not going to end well. Sometimes your technical analysis is correct. Sometimes the technical analysis that is given by someone is a good one. But because your mental state is very fearful, any tick, any peep the market does against your direction, you're already thinking of closing it before you lose all the. That's the fastest way to get broke. So the only way to escape this is number one, if the money you're depositing is too small, for instance, let's say you deposit $10. $10 is a very is the minimum money you deposit in any broker. Do not deposit that $10. Don't bother yourself depositing it. Just save that money. Probably you're working or you're saving. Save the money let it pile up to something like $100. That is what will give you the liberty to chest some losses and also give you the opportunity to recover from losses. So if you have $100 and then you are risking $10, it will take you to lose 10 trades before you lose the whole money. And if you know what you're doing, you lose 5 trades. The sixth trade can land you recovering your loss and even being on profit. So you have to save that money instead of you depositing the little it is. There's another beneficiary way, getting a prop firm. Prop firm gives you the opportunity to leverage on capital. And their prop firms are as low as $34 for $5,000 accounts and $50 for $5,000 accounts. So you can leverage on prop firm to actually give yourself a chance to earn from the market. Lastly, if the money that you're depositing is all your livelihood and you don't have a job, go and look for a job because the market cannot take care of your urgent needs or your daily needs. The market can do that. It's only your job that can do that.
All
So any
right.
other question?
We are ready. Our time is already up. Or I would like you to answer this one. This one is for the big boys. All those ones are just this thing. This one is something someone can control. This one is for the big boys now. Now, you get into trading, you've learned, you are disciplined. You know, you are mentioning discipline, how trading shaping someone's life. Now, you've learned everything, and finally you come to the point of being profitable. Now, look at this now. You're now profitable. You follow risk management. You are going higher. You've moved from $10,000 to $100,000. You keep going like that. You keep going like that. But at a point, pressure start coming in. When I mean pressure, I'm talking about pressure from, you getting married, you handling your kids, you doing this, you taking stuffs, you taking some business tycoon, you trying to fix one or two, you managing this, you doing that. You're trying to handle so many things, and there is requirement of money. Now, your net worth around that time now is becoming $200,000. Now, at a point, you're having an issue that is coming up about $100,000 to $150,000 within that range, and the tension is coming, tension is arising. Now, the risks you are taking before you add up, and then at a point, instead of growing, you started seeing yourself deformating. You started seeing yourself going down. At that rate, people are relying on you. People are watching you. People are depending on you. And you that was once disciplined begin to feel depressed. So along that line, how are we going to fix this person? Because now the person is feeling depressed. Now, you talked about smoking. The person now starts smoking. The person now start doing things that that he has actually stopped or he has worked on, because now he's trying to, handle some things that are bigger than him at that moment. And then, at that point, when the thing becomes too much, and is big enough, what can the person do? Is it going to really scale out of that place? Because at a point, maybe the person fall back to zero and then commit suicide, or before he commits suicide. Because I believe those kind of people are the people that fall back to zero and commit suicide. We heard about a crypto trader that had funds of so many people, and then when that drop happened, someone that has Lamborghini, has so many this thing, but because that drop affected both his psychology, both his accounts, the other accounts of so many people. Then he just had to end his life. So how do you save people from that catastrophe so that they won't get to the point of killing themselves or taking their own life? That's the big question. That is for the big boys. Let's go. Let's hear you, sir.
Okay, for a situation like this, where as time goes by, billings or responsibilities started adding up, and it began to mount pressure on that trader. Now, what that trader needs to do is two things. Number one, you have to seek for other source of income so that it can help you cater for the responsibilities that are adding up, and don't place everything on trading. And two is to ensure and engage in proper money management. This money management I spoke of is a very deep topic that I've not dived into. I'm talking about proper money management in the sense that if it warrants you cutting down the cost of your lifestyle in order to get your basic needs met. Your basic needs such as food, clothing, water, shelter. All right. If it will require you to cut down some lifestyle so that you can be able to manage the money that you make to the barest minimum, to take care of the plethora of responsibilities that are now on your shoulder, you have to be willing to do that, because you can't eat your cake and have it. So you have a scenario whereby the person is someone who eats out, or someone who not really like spend lavishly, but someone that's, if you're to manage that money properly, you will not take an Uber to where you're going, or you will not give the money for free. Someone will just ask you, please, I need money. Can you hear me? Are you with me? Can you all hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So the person is asking for 20,000 naira, 10, and you're just dashing that money out because you feel you're a trader. You have to cut down on expenses. I'm telling you, when you do that, the Bible says that there's time for everything, a time to give, a time to withhold. So there are times you withhold, there are times you give, there are times you cut down on expenses because you've seen that, okay, there's a lot of expenses on your shoulder. So when you want to attend to your responsibilities, you have to attend to the ones that are more important than the others. Are you getting me? You have to attend to the ones that are more important than the others. You'll be very shocked that as a trader, the money you make and the money you've spent, some professors in university has not seen that money in a year, but they are coping. They are living well. So it's an issue of management. When you are faced with a lot of responsibilities, the money you withdraw can actually take care of those responsibilities. It's only because you don't know how to manage your money properly, or you've raised your lifestyle to a certain level that it might require you bringing that lifestyle down. And something we usually say locally, to be on a low key. Yeah. So you can be on a low key for some time being, just to cater for all those responsibilities while you grow. The second thing to do is to seek for another source of income, whereby you can be able to assist whatever you make from trading to take care of the responsibilities on your shoulder. Then the aspect of it getting to a point of suicide, that person actually need to report to a mentor, open up to a mentor, open up to an accountability partner. It's very, very important. You don't do life alone and you don't do trading alone. It can be very dangerous. So you can open up to a friend, all right? You can open up to a partner, you can open up to a mentor and explain to the mentor what you're going through, because at that point, you're filled with depression and you begin to do some things that you don't do, that you wouldn't have done on a normal basis. You're smoking and going into some of you just have to open up to someone. And I'm telling you that when you do that, there will always be help. The person who you deem fit to open up to will definitely be of help to you. We definitely, let's say for instance, there's a bill you have at the moment, and because you made a loss and you can't meet up to that responsibility, so okay, I'll borrow you this one, you go and settle whatever responsibility that you have currently. You will bounce back, and gradually you are going to grow above that stage. Finally, the reason why it always come to a point of suicide is because we too, as traders, we place a lot of pressure on ourselves. All right. You want to make it quick. You're comparing yourself with that trader online, and then you can't wait to start driving that Benz. Take it easy. Take it slow and steady. Rome was not built in a day. Some of those people you are envying online, some of them can be scammers. Some of them that are real, if you track how long they've been trading before you. If you've been trading for a long time, then you have to own it up that you've been doing the wrong thing all the while, and you have nobody to blame except yourself, and try to correct it. So that's the way to accommodate responsibilities that are around you. That's more than what you make as a trader. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for him, our mentor. All we have to say is thank you, our guest speaker. You really did a very great job. Very well. He also have an group called Star Traders on WhatsApp. So that's very great. We really appreciate this. So one thing I pick here is someone should find an accountability partner. And another thing we need to introduce to the industry is someone that is abnormal. They give him a therapist. Sometimes, what do they call them again?
Psychiatrists.
Psychiatrists. So they give them, the people that take care of them are called.
Yeah, they are called psychiatrists and psychiatrist doctor.
Okay. So people that want to heal people like traders that are abnormal. What do we call the teachers? So we need.
You have to find a name for that.
We need mental. I wrote the name before. Like I had it on my head. I don't know. The thing just fling out immediately. We need psychiatric traders that can teach people. So maybe I will recall. I will get it back. So we're going to end.
Yeah, what you say is actually true, because a lot of people are battling a lot of things silently.
Yeah, I've done this before. There are many people that have called me. I'm always calm to listen to people, and then I tell them, okay, this is what you do. Some of them I tell them that, bro, what you need now is prayers. At a point, I'll just look at them and say, what you need now is prayers. Because how will you? Some of them, man, I don't know what to say. But I believe this class has helped a lot. Please don't miss out for tomorrow's class, guys. Tomorrow is what? Tomorrow is 12. Let me see the guest speaker that is coming to speak tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be fire packed. Don't miss tomorrow. So just give us one word in conclusion so we can round off a takeout, Mr. Prosper.
Okay, in one word.
No, just a phrase.
Okay. In one word, do not be a market zombie. Get a lifestyle outside the market so that you can be engaged well enough not to be controlled by the market. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Today we're gonna end. Mr. Reyes, oh yeah, come on, close for us. Let's have a word of prayer. So go. Paul, for Eman, Mr. Paul.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much. Our guest speaker for today was really an impactful one. Okay, so we'll be closing right away to meet back here, same time tomorrow. So, like we said, invite others who are, if you know you're getting something, invite others, invite your friends, invite your neighbors. Whether they've started trading or not, just invite them, let them come and learn.
Invite your enemies. Those ones that you have
You understand? Even enemies join. That's true.
that gave you a say.
All right, so let's pray so we can call it a night. In Jesus' name. Father, thank you for today. Thank you for the blessings of today. Thank you for the guest speaker that you used to impact us even today. Thank you for your servants. Ifosi, thank you for Mr. Prosper. Thank you for every one of us that were live in this meeting tonight. Lord, we pray, Lord, that the things that we've learned, we'll put it to work in the name of Jesus. And as many of us as are going through one level of depression, struggle, difficulty or the other, Lord, we pray that you intervene on our behalf in the name of Jesus. Anyone that may have lost something and for that reason holding on to the losses and believe that maybe he or she cannot recover, Lord, make a way of escape for that person, make a way of escape for that man, for that woman. And even from this platform, we'll hear testimonies. In Jesus' most powerful name we have prayed. Amen and amen. Thank you very much.